vicinity of these people. And it doesn't even have to necessarily be your congressperson or a senator. It could be people that are impeding progress. It could be someone like Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates. As far as I'm concerned, these people should not have a minute of peace outside of their homes.
They should.
And I'm speaking nonviolently. But like what happened to Kirsten Sinema in the bathroom should happen to her every single time she's in public. Because when you have people, we are past decorum. We are so far past decorum.
And again, this is why we laugh when we see what Senator Sinema is doing, because guess what's exactly what our congresswoman does. They run and hide. Our congresswoman can't even go to a regular safe bubble event like last Saturday and not literally as soon as she's done doing what she wants to do is out the door. They
don't want to talk to people. They don't want to hear it. And look, they cannot build their moats wide enough.
No.
And all of these people, I mean, I know that we hear things about like the Occupy people and the setting up guillotines in front of people like Bezos' house and stuff like that. And I am not in any way talking about violence. It's all symbolic. But these people should not get a moment's peace. It is not okay, because what they're doing is against what most people want. It's not like we're the fringe group coming at them from off the crazy side saying, we want these crazy things. We have the majority position and they are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they are insubordinate employees.
And more people need to be involved. That's the bottom line. There's so much, there's so much nihilism. There's so much acceptance of things being the way that they are. We got to get past that. And, you got to check your ego at the door. And a lot of people don't want to do that. And a lot of people are, they're online warriors in many ways. If you're not making the inroads that you need to make, and I will say this, I don't know for sure if Andrew Yang is on, I think he is onto something. I don't know if he's really there yet, but I will say this, his approach, with all due respect, People's Party, it's the right approach. It is credibility, which you must have. If people don't actually take you seriously, then you have no shot in hell. They are taking Andrew seriously. Why? Because they're smearing the hell out of him.
Which means they're scared.
Means they're scared. Because they know that he could attract more people, such as Marianne Williamson, Joe Rogan, and Dave Chappelle. And if people like that...
And I like all those people tremendously, actually.
And if
all of those people I like.
Those types of influencers join with Andrew, you're going to have a real problem on your hands.
That's a viable third-party situation.
It's not about whether you can convince elected officials. It's about whether you can convince people who can actually move the needle. And those people can move the needle. And if they get involved, you've got a big credibility problem. Number two, you have to have a broad reach. If you think that a niche party is going to work, you have no shot.
That's what we say all the time. And it's no offense to the Greens, because
they're niche. Libertarians are niche. People's Party's niche.
It's niche.
You're niche.
You need to be a working people labor party.
100%.
That's how this is going to happen.
And even if that's not the full directive of where the forward party is going, it at least has the concept initially of the broad appeal. And that brings me to the final pillar, which of course is, how is it going to be funded? If it is willing to go the route, if Andrew is willing to go the route, it doesn't mean you can't take money, a lot of money. But if corporate special interest money is going to play a role, then it isn't going to work.
Because then those interests are counter to the labor people that would be needed for it to be a good third-party effort.
If somebody like Dave Chappelle or Joe Rogan decides, I'll donate $100,000 to this venture, that's one thing.
Right.
If somebody from Raytheon says, I'm going to donate $100,000 to this venture, that's a no-go. So that's where you have to draw the line.
You have to look at whose interests are involved and what those interests are. If very, very wealthy people that support labor unions, workers' rights, and taking care of people with healthcare want to donate money to a party that's fighting for that, I'm good. I'll live with that. And in fact, for all the laws and the things on the books and the loopholes that allow very wealthy people to basically buy politicians, I actually don't mind as people doing it in the reverse direction, in order to be competitive. But it has to be from people that are on the same issue with these policies. It cannot be from people that are going to want work counter to that. It cannot be from big corporate special interests. It just can't.
If I and have observed, however casually it may be, but I have observed some of the language that people are using to describe Andrew and his venture. I'm not talking about, yes, you, Dave Weigel of the Washington Post.
I'm so thankful I'm not on social media, so I don't see this nonsense.
I'm talking about some of our old friends, people like that. And
I
when
don't
you
think
say,
of those people as friends.
No, I'm using it
No, okay,
sarcastically.
because I was saying nobody at the Washington Post has ever been a friend of
I'm
mine.
not talking about them. I'm talking about the other left, some of the left.
Oh.
And so my point is, if you think that you're going to cast Andrew aside and say that his way is not going to work, how's your way working?
Actually, his way's working really well. He gets funded by Jeff Bezos and probably gets a really nice paycheck. His way's working great for him. And I don't even know who it is. And I can tell you that if he's at the Washington Post, it's the Jeff Bezos way, right?
But I'm not even talking about him. You're off in a whole other
But
universe
you're not at the
right
Washington
now.
Post. Okay. Well, I
I'm
am.
simply using Dave Weigel as an example because Dave Weigel is throwing shade at Andrew.
Who else was? Who else was it?
Other left media people.
Okay, because I don't really know of any decent left media people.
No, I'm simply saying that they are trying to paint this as, well, Andrew doesn't know what he's doing. Let me tell you something. Andrew's got 1,000,000 times more credibility than you do. I'm sorry that that is what needs to be said, but it needs to be said. And so people
okay. This is why I don't pay attention to
will
this stuff.
take Andrew seriously.
Because he's serious.
The Washington Post is not covering any of these other party ventures, but they're going to cover Andrew because they know he has an appeal. There is a likability to him that you can't put into words. It doesn't mean he doesn't make mistakes so that we vehemently disagree on certain issues, but he has a way of capturing an audience. He just does.
And here's the bottom line. He's not nefarious.
No.
He's not nefarious. He's a net positive.
And
he's not in this as some diabolical wanting to take over the world. He actually, regardless of whether or not we agree with him on things or he says things we agree, this is somebody who's really in this for the right reasons.
He's a family man. He absolutely
and
cares.
is not
he's
in
just
this
a regular guy.
Right. There's nothing nefarious there. And that is an important element to me in terms of somebody that I think just in terms of their general judgment and who I would count on.
And he's willing to take that chance. And a lot of people are not willing to take that chance, not to be the face. You know, there were a lot of people who wanted to help out with the Movement for the People's Party, and they had a huge summit when they launched. A lot of relevant people were there. Nina Turner, Dr. West, Marianne Williamson, Chris Hedges. I can keep going. But the point is, they were not the leaders of the venture. The leaders of the venture made a miscalculation in terms of who needed to drive it.
Well, originally I thought it was they wanted Bernie. They was like a draft. It started off as like a draft Bernie and have Bernie be the lead, which
if that happened,
that would have been, then that's a real deal.
Definitely.
But that's a deal breaker.
And
you need a leader.
And so at this point, Andrew is willing to put himself out there and take the slings and arrows that comes with being the face of a movement. That is not an easy thing to do, ladies and gentlemen, especially when you have kids, when you have a wife who already, you could see his wife, Evelyn, it really weared on her.
Please don't ever say that about a woman. Nobody ever wants to hear that.
I am simply observing.
You're lovely, Evelyn. He doesn't know what he's talking
about. What I am saying is that you could see running for mayor how much that weighed on his family.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, because when you say that about women, it's sort of like
no, you mean like make them look
yes,
no,
it's like Nathan Lane birdcage when you say that. That's why I'm saying that. But anyway,
I'm saying you could see that you could see how much it affected them. It did.
But here's the thing I will also say about Andrew is, and I've spoken with him a couple of times. He is somebody that makes decisions based on science and reason. He is somebody that would surround himself with exceptionally smart people and does so and would listen to what they have to say. He does not think he's an expert on everything. He is just somebody that exhibits good judgment based in reason and wants to help.
And
really,
you know what?
You might not agree with what his methods are. That I get.
And unfortunately, the bad, when he ran for mayor in particular, outweighed the good in terms of the coverage. You see, you'll focus on the fact that he'll make his statement about Israel and let that dominate the news cycle, whereas he was the only person who ran for mayor in New York City who supported the New York Health Act. And to me, That's a lot more important.
For a mayor.
You just had the vote on the Iron Dome funding. 420 to 9.
And
this ain't a battle.
And a present.
Yeah.
Present.
And you ain't winning that fight right now. So focus on what you can win. That doesn't mean you don't keep fighting.
People are just so completely impractical. And this is the biggest problem on the left, is it's so emotionally driven and not based on reason.
It is.
It's like, and I say this to people all the time when you're talking about candidates, the bottom line is people just have to like you. You could be for all the wrong things, but if they like you, they'll support you and they don't even care what you stand for. That's the truth.
And this is the last thing I want to mention. You know, they get so caught up. And again, the movement for the People's Party can say whatever they want. But the truth of the matter is they are simply more or less focusing on disaffected Democratic voters.
Way too small of a niche.
There are so many disaffected Republican voters.
Or how about that most people are not affiliated at all?
Or just independents.
That's most people.
So when you say not left, not right, but forward, again, people get too caught up in labels. The only thing that matters.
And people are attracted to this.
They are. The only thing that matters is corporate special interest money.
Yeah.
With all due respect, all of that niche stuff that you guys are focused on, and you could call me whatever the hell you want. I'm the all-American white male and I have it easy. Blah, 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 blah. Say whatever the hell you want. At the end of the day, corporate special interest is all that matters. Without dealing with that,
is somebody saying you're a privileged white man?
I'm just prepared for
okay,
it.
You're prepared.
So that's all that matters, because that's what drives this world.
It's the truth.
And if you're not going to fight that fight, you're wasting your time.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.